Today I'm going to talk about, in this video, about MBA. Is MBA good or not? When should you be doing MBA, right? So let's get started. First of all, let's define what is MBA. MBA, or the full form, is Master of Business Administration. In this course, it's a postgraduate course where you're taught on how to organize and run a business and the various facets of business management, right from strategy to market to people to leadership, financials, economy. These are various types of subjects that are taught in an MBA program. Now, all these topics is what organizations will make you experience when you start working. So the question is, do you learn something and then you come and work and apply it? Or do you first work and then you go later and do an MBA? The modus operandi in India, majority of the times what I see is most people go and do an MBA first and then they come and join work. Now, why is this so popular in India? But this is not, by the way, common out of India. In most other countries, people do an MBA after work experience. And in fact, if you see the top MBAs in the world, like Harvard, Stanford, they ask you for minimum 5 or 7 years of work experience. In some cases, 3 years. It depends on every university. Even in India, many colleges do that. So, first of all, let's talk about why people in India do the MBA immediately, and then we'll go to talk about why colleges in many cases ask for experience as well. I personally think, this is my personal opinion, that one of the reasons why many people do MBA right after bachelor degree is from a earnings and career progression perspective. There are thousands or lakhs of engineers or commerce students coming out of colleges in India. How do you stand apart? The only way they feel you can stand apart is by doing an MBA. So if you have a combination of bachelor degree and MBA, you feel you have a better chance of getting a better job, which is unfortunately a fact as well in most companies in India. And the reason why companies also do that is because there are lakhs of applications. How do you shortlist? You just shortlist by saying, okay, let's say we put a clause that we want MBA. We want an MBA from a top college. So what happens is the pool reduces for the companies to do the filtration. That is all. There's no other reason. So when you go to a top college, do an MBA, and then when we are recruiting a graduate trainee, we choose these by filtration process. It becomes easier for us to do the interviews. So it's purely used for getting a better company and better money. Now you will argue with me saying that, but Ashok, that is what ultimately is my goal. I want to get into a good company, I want to get a good job and make a lot of money. Fair enough. But just because you have an MBA doesn't guarantee that you're going to be the best candidate. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, first of all, I haven't done an MBA. And there are a lot of people that I work with who don't have an MBA, and they are better in business administration than even the top MBAs of the world, leave alone India as well. So you don't have to get obsessed that you definitely must do an MBA. So that's the first thing I want to clarify to all of you. If you can't do an MBA, maybe due to family situation, maybe you don't have an interest immediately, don't worry about it. It's not the end of your life. And if you feel a FOMO or a fear of missing out because your friends are doing MBA and maybe they can afford it, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're going to be delayed in your career progression by 1 or 2 years. In the big grand scheme of things, my dear friends, it's not such a big deal. Don't overthink and get anxious and stressed out about it. So if you're unable to do an MBA, you can still start working. And that is honestly the reason why colleges in many countries ask for work experience, because what you learn in MBA is what real time happens in organizations. So when you work and experience for 3 or 5 years, and then when you go and do an MBA, you're able to understand the concepts even better. And then when you come back, you will implement them even better. Let's say, for example, you do an MBA and then you come back to work. Many of the concepts you will not be implementing immediately. You will only implement them later in your life with a few years of experience. And that time you may not even remember what you studied. So a lot of times it's counterintuitive. One side you want to have a better career, a better company, you go into an MBA. But when you start the job, you don't use the MBA concepts. And when you go to use the MBA concepts, you may not remember. You see what I'm talking about? It's a chicken and egg game. Ideally, what is preferred by me as my personal suggestion is you work at least for 3 or 5 years and go and target one of the top colleges for MBAs. And why do I say top colleges again specifically here? Because MBA is a lot of research-based studies. Organizations change a lot over years. The practices change, the kind of things we do for analysis and research changes. So if you do it in a top college, they will have the latest R&D facility, the latest case studies and latest books, and the latest professors as well. So that is why I recommend that you work for a few years, gain the experience, and then go and do an MBA. So if you don't get a chance to do it, don't worry about it. And if you can't enter the top colleges for any reason, that's okay as well. I have even given a separate video on the pedigree of colleges. Do watch that if you want to know how you can still be successful. So overall, I want to clear this myth that don't do an MBA after bachelor degree just for the sake of it. Do it for the reasons that I explained in the video. And if you can't do it after work experience, from my point of view, it's even better. I hope you all got something out of it now and it clarifies your mind a little bit better than before. But if you do have still questions, you can still message me or put it on your comments and I will make sure I reply to you. Thanks a lot for listening to me again. Stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success. Thank you everyone.